A terrifying wildfire breaks out in California. Inside the blazing inferno, a man finds himself trapped in a bus with several children, while at the same time, his own family is stuck inside their burning home. Now the question is, whom will he save? The children in his bus or his family at home? Let's begin this tense and emotional story. It starts with a vast forest in California, stretching hundreds of kilometers, lined with power towers. This place was called Paradise. Then, around 4 p.m., we see a school bus moving through the city. Inside, a man named Kevin is driving, dropping off children at various stops. After finishing his route, he reaches the Paradise City bus parking, the central hub for all city buses. Kevin parks his bus and walks into the office, leaving his keys behind. Their supervisor, Rosie, tells him to return for the 6 p.m. shift. Kevin replies that he has some personal work in the morning and asks if he can get his payment a bit early because he's going through a family crisis. Rosie reminds him that many senior drivers work full shifts without complaints and assures him that he'll get paid on time, so he should report in early tomorrow. Kevin, disappointed, nods and leaves. He lives alone in a small house. Soon, he receives a call from the vet. His beloved dog has cancer. Hearing this breaks Kevin's heart. He rushes to see his dog, then goes inside to meet his mother, Kate, who mostly stays home alone. Kevin tells her he needs to take the dog to the doctor. From inside, his teenage son, Sean, overhears the conversation. Kevin goes to Sean's room. Sean, as usual, is busy studying. Kevin tells him to stop focusing only on books and find some other work, but Sean ignores him and turns up the music volume. Angry, Kevin says, "You're 15 now? You behave worse than any kid I know," Sean replies. "Dad, I'm the same as before. You just misunderstand me." Kevin sighs. "You're right, it's my fault," and leaves the room, hurt. He takes his dog to the vet and starts its treatment. Meanwhile, a piece from an electric pole falls, creating a spark that ignites a small fire. That spark grows quickly, spreading across the forest. The next morning, Kevin returns for his shift and meets Rosie again. She tells him to finish his route as soon as possible and says he'll get extra pay for the extra shift. Kevin drives off with the bus. Elsewhere, another driver spots smoke rising from the forest and immediately alerts the control room. Through their cameras, officials confirm a wildfire is spreading. Kevin continues picking up kids from school, driving them home one by one. Thoughts of his son keep haunting him. Meanwhile, firefighters see the fire expanding rapidly along power lines and rush to contain it. Just then, Kevin gets a call from his mother. She tells him that Sean has fallen sick and that Rachel, Kevin's ex-wife, also called about it. Hearing this, Kevin asks Rosie for permission to go home early to take care of his son, promising to return soon. But Rosie insists he must finish his shift first. In the forest, firefighters realize the fire has grown uncontrollably large and are trying every way to stop it. Kevin stops by a pharmacy to buy medicine for Sean. Outside, he notices fire trucks speeding through the streets. The city is in chaos. He keeps talking to his mother on the phone about Sean's condition. Deep inside the forest, firefighters rescue civilians as flames consume houses. Some people are even seen fighting amid the panic. Meanwhile, Kevin keeps pleading with Rosie to let him leave, but she says, "Your shift ends in just 1 hour. Finish it, then you can go elsewhere." A firefighter evacuates several families in trucks. Kevin keeps driving his bus, and suddenly he gets a call from Rachel, his ex-wife. She says, "I'm taking Sean away from your house." Kevin sees the fire spreading fast through the forest and tells Rachel, "I'll come home and talk to you in person." Then he informs Rosie about the fire, but Rosie brushes it off, saying, "Fires like that happen in the woods all the time. I've told you 3 times already, finish your job. If you don't want to work, you can quit." Meanwhile, firefighters rescue several people and head back, but flames block their path, rushing straight toward them. They jump off the truck and dive into a nearby pond to save themselves. Moments later, a massive explosion rips through the area, but because they were underwater, they survive. Their radios lose signal, leaving them cut off from the command center. Fear spreads among them, until finally, another rescue team locates and helps them. The fire continues to spread, mile after mile, moving dangerously close to Paradise City. Kevin realizes what's happening. He calls his son, Sean, and apologizes, saying, "I'll be home soon, son, but if I don't make it, take your grandma and get out of there. The government has set up a safe house outside the city. You must reach it if you want to survive." Authorities now see that nearly 3/4 of the forest is burning. They try everything to stop it, but nothing works. Inside a forest school camp, around 60 to 70 kids stare at the approaching flames. Their teacher, Mary, tries to calm them down. "Don't worry, it's just a small fire. Go back and play." The children return to their games, but soon, other teachers rush in and warn Mary that the fire is massive. They must get the children home immediately. Since the camp is far from town, evacuation is difficult. Teachers call every parent whose number they have and ask them to come, but they still need a bus to transport the rest. Elsewhere, Kevin and Rachel argue fiercely. Both want custody of Sean. Rachel snaps, "Kevin, you're the problem. You're useless." The words hit Kevin hard. He parks the bus on the roadside to continue the argument. Rachel tells him that Sean doesn't want to stay with him. Hearing that crushes Kevin. His son means everything to him. Over the radio, Rosie asks, "Kevin, where are you?" Kevin leaves a message for Sean, saying he wants to talk. Then he decides to quit his job and drive home, turning the bus around. At the same time, Rosie learns that the school camp inside the forest desperately needs a bus. Dozens of kids are trapped, and the fire is heading straight for them. She radios all drivers, asking for volunteers. Kevin hears the message. Some parents manage to reach the camp and take their children home, but over 40 kids are still trapped. Teachers must somehow get them to Paradise City School, where their parents can meet them safely. Rosie keeps pleading with every driver to help, but most are far away, and a few refuse to go at all. Kevin looks around and sees firefighters risking their lives to save others amid the raging flames. After a deep pause, he radios Rosie and says, "I'm near that route. I'm going there to rescue those kids." Rosie feels an immense relief and thanks him again and again for his courage. Kevin heads straight into the burning forest. Firefighters continue their battle, but the flames remain out of control. Kevin finally reaches the camp and meets Mary inside. He tells her, "You need to get the kids out right now." Mary gathers the children and leads them outside. With the fire closing in, everyone climbs onto the bus in panic. Mary tells Kevin, "Please get them safely to the school." Kevin replies, "You have to come with me too. I can't stay at the school until all the parents arrive. I also need to reach my family. I'll need a teacher by my side." Mary instructs the other teachers to take their own cars and says, "I'll see you at the school." Then she boards the bus with Kevin as they prepare to drive through the fire. Mary sits on the bus with Kevin. They look for a route to Paradise City because they must reach there fast. Kevin says the road you mentioned is very dangerous. "I know another way. I will take you to the city school through that route." By then, many people in Paradise City are fleeing in cars in fear, creating a massive traffic jam. Fire Chief Cal and the sheriff study the full city map. They want to save everyone and also bring the fire under control. Rosie is told that Kevin has left with the children. Right then, the radio connection drops. Rosie becomes extremely worried. Kevin sees the heavy traffic and decides to take a longer road. Mary dislikes this decision. Kevin says the main road is jammed and the fire is right behind us. We must take the alternate path. Kevin accelerates. Inside the bus, Mary and the children are terrified. Kevin says, "Do not be afraid. I will get you to the city school safely." Traffic is lighter on this road. Mary and Kevin talk. Kevin says, "I started this job 2 months ago. Before that, I lived with my father. He is no longer alive. Now my mother and my son live with me." Mary shares her story. "I also live with my mother and my son Jack. My sister is at home with them for now. I love teaching children. I have been a teacher for 15 years. The children are very scared by the surroundings." Mary sits with them and tries to calm them. Rosie tries to reach Kevin on the radio, but the connection will not return. Fire is nearing Rosie's station too. Rosie leaves one last voice message for Kevin. "However you can, get the children to the safe camp outside the city." Then she evacuates with the others. Night falls and the fire brushes across the entire city. Paradise City burns. Many people are trapped inside the hospital. Firefighters deploy large teams to save lives. They plan routes and use every possible road. Kevin's bus gets stuck on the road. A man tells him all the cars ahead are blocked. Kevin grows anxious and calls Sean, but the network is down. He sees the flames coming toward them. Mary goes to calm the children. Kevin tells her they must inch the bus forward. He steps out, talks to drivers, and works to untangle the jam. He somehow frees the bus and moves ahead. He says people often get trapped like this when they rush. They finally reach the city and drive near the school. They find the school burning and already evacuated. Mary steps outside to check, but sees no one anywhere. Kevin is terrified by the flames. Mary asks, "What should we do now?" Kevin answers, "I do not know." Mary says we have to get out of here now. Inside the bus, the children scream in fear, and outside, Kevin grows even more worried. A girl on the bus has a panic attack. Mary stabilizes her. Kevin climbs back in, starts the bus, and moves forward again. Mary keeps the frightened children steady. Kevin drives slowly over charred roads. Fire officers estimate that 7,000 to 8,000 people are trapped. They must be saved as the fire grows on all sides. They ask the power company to shut off all city lights. The company refuses at first, citing heavy losses. The fire officers become furious. Everyone is facing death. The power crew reluctantly agrees. Kevin and Mary also get stuck on the road with the children. They study the roadmap to find a way forward. Inside the bus, a boy named Josh panics. He says we will never reach our parents. We might die before that. Kevin asks Josh about his parents. Josh says, "I live with my mom. I've never seen my dad." Kevin promises, "I'll get you back to your mother, I swear." Hearing that, Josh feels a bit calmer. They move forward again, but suddenly power lines snap and fall onto the road, sparking fires that spread rapidly. Flames burst from the poles and land on cars. Kevin turns the bus toward the forest and drives fast. It was the right decision, because in the city, roads are blocked by fire, and cars are trapped while firefighters desperately try to rescue people. The kids sitting with Mary feel heartbroken seeing all this chaos. They can't see any clear way ahead. Then a few people try to break into the bus, demanding to get in. Kevin refuses. They even threaten him with a gun, but Mary stands firm and doesn't let them. Kevin keeps driving forward, determined. We then see a safe camp where medics treat the rescued. Rosie is there, watching all the buses arrive, except one. Kevin's bus hasn't returned. Parents anxiously wait for their children. Kevin keeps trying to reach someone on the radio for help, but no signal remains. Inside the bus, the children suffer from the heat. Mary tells Kevin they need water. They must stop somewhere. Smoke starts entering the bus. Kevin drives slowly ahead and spots a few houses. He warns Mary, "The people here aren't friendly. Be careful. I know a road that goes around this area." He stops the bus. Mary gets out to look for water. She breaks open a house door, finds some water, and as she walks back, she sees armed men roaming the street. She stays quiet and moves carefully. Suddenly, there's a huge explosion. Kevin screams her name. When Mary finally returns, Kevin pulls her into the bus. They drive forward again, but flames block the road ahead. Kevin turns the bus and takes another path. Meanwhile, at the safe camp, Rosie tells the parents, "Our driver Kevin left with your children, but we lost contact after they left the city. Kevin is an excellent driver. They were supposed to reach the city school first, but now they might be heading here. Don't worry, Mary and Kevin will bring them safely." Parents are still terrified. Rosie assures them, "We all trust Kevin, and you should too. He's our last hope to bring those kids home." Kevin drives the bus carefully along a dirt mountain road. He and Mary see many people on the roadside shouting for help. Kevin tells them, "The bus is completely full." The people warn him, "The dirt road ahead is burning. You can't go that way. We're turning back, and you should too." Kevin and Mary think about what to do. Kevin steps out to look around. Everywhere he sees fire, no way out, they're surrounded. He returns to the bus and says, "We'll wait here. Fire is everywhere. We can't move now. We need to stay calm and keep the children calm too." Mary fears they won't survive. Kevin says, "If the fire slows down, we'll move that way." Mary asks, "And if it comes here?" Kevin replies, "It won't reach us." We have to believe that Mary goes to comfort the crying children while Kevin thinks about their next move. Together they seal every gap in the bus with tape so smoke can't get in. Elsewhere, a firefighter tells the chief they can't control the fire at all. The chief orders all rescue teams to focus only on saving people now. They decide to evacuate everyone from the city, because by then, the entire Paradise City is burning. Kevin decides to calm the children by telling stories. He first assures them that they are safe, then starts narrating. The kids are terrified and cannot tell if it is day or night. Kevin says it is probably morning by now. Once we get out of the fire, we will see daylight. He then goes to comfort Josh, because Josh reminds Kevin of his own son, Sean. Mary tells Kevin that within an hour the fire will surround them. We should put the children to sleep so they pass away in their sleep. Kevin says, "No, do not say that. We cannot lose courage like this." Fire Chief Cal tells the media that he has sent all his teams only to rescue trapped people. Thousands are still inside the fire, and they all need help. Everyone must stay calm first. He also states that this fire started due to a mistake by the power company. The media erupts in anger at the utility. Mary tells Kevin that she should have stayed with her own family, but she still chose to go to the camp with the children. She could have taken them to another state, but she brought them to their own forest, and now they are trapped in the fire. Kevin smiles and says that he too had many chances to run away all his life. He wanted to go home instead of coming to pick up these children. But when he learned the kids were in greater danger, he chose them over his family and came here to save them. He does not know how his son is, whether he burned or survived. All his life, he only fought with his son. Now he realizes how big a mistake he made. Sadly, he may not be able to talk to his son anymore. Mary comforts him and says, "Do not worry. Your son will come back and he will understand you." Suddenly, the fire comes very close. The children panic. Kevin and Mary rush outside and try to put out nearby flames with fire extinguishers, but the fire is too intense and their canisters run dry. They decide to drive the bus directly through burning roads. Kevin tries to start the bus, but it will not start. He checks the engine outside, replaces a battery cable, and Mary manages to get the bus running. Kevin jumps back in and drives fast through the fiery roadway. They push through forest roads as the children scream in fear. Kevin can barely see the road, but keeps driving and increases speed. Soon they reach the highway. Even there, the fire races toward the bus. Kevin drives at maximum speed. Mary and all the children cry out in fear. They lose hope of survival. Right then, they burst out of the ring of fire and into daylight. Kevin is stunned. They have come far from the flames. The children and Mary are overcome with emotion. Moments later, they arrive at the safe camp. The children are overjoyed. Mary helps them off the bus and reunites each child with their parents. When it is Josh's turn, Kevin bids him goodbye. Josh runs to his mother. Mary thanks Kevin for his help. As she steps outside, all the parents applaud for them. Mary says your children are very brave, and all of this was possible only because of Kevin. Mary then goes to meet her family. Kevin inspects the burned parts of the bus and steps outside, where he meets Rosie. Rosie is very happy with Kevin's work, and the other drivers praise him too. Kevin then sets out to find his family. He soon finds his dog and his mother, Kate. Kate tells him that neighbors brought her there, and that Rachel took Sean from the house earlier. Sean is very happy with his mother, and he is safe. Kevin feels deep pain for his son, and his mother comforts him. A week later, the fire comes under control, but by then, the forest and the city have turned to ash. Kevin returns to his burned house and looks through what remains. He finds a photo of himself with Sean. The picture overwhelms him with emotion. A car pulls up. Rachel arrives with Sean. Hearing about his father's courage, Sean is very happy and comes to see him. Kevin is overjoyed to see his son. In the end, we learn that this was the most devastating fire in California's history, where more than 13,000 homes were destroyed. Pacific Gas and Electricity Company was held responsible and had to pay $13.5 billion in compensation to the victims. After the fire, Kevin decides to become a teacher and starts teaching children. Mary now travels to camps in different countries with kids, and she is very happy with her work. With that, today's story comes to an end. Tell me how you liked it in the comments. I am signing off for today.